Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What are you saying?
Okay, do it again.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel.
So today what we're going to do is we're going to start trying to take the TD5 out of the TD5. No, hang on a second. We've got a bit ahead of ourselves. First of all, we need to take the bulkhead out.
And before we take the bulkhead out, we've got steering column, wiring loom, heater matrix to take out before we can even think about the engine.
We've undone a few things from the front of the vehicle. Some coolant lines there, they're the ones that feed into that heater box, which has got the heater matrix inside it. As you can see, the bonnet is fully off now, as is the windscreen surround. So our plan now is we're trying to get this airbox out, and it's randomly stuck on one thing that we can't see. So we're going to pull that loom through to give us a bit more clearance. And the plan is to sort of take as much off the bulkhead as possible right now, and then try and get the loom out and back into the cab so that we're clear on the back of the engine. And just so you can see what we did, as you saw already, the tub is gone, so we hope that the bulkhead can come relatively soon. Alright guys, so we have just got the loom out. As you can see, that bulkhead compared to how it was before is wire free. I think the GoPro might be in a poor position for you to have seen that, unfortunately, but it was quite difficult to get out and film. So here is the loom, and that's the body side loom, and the engine loom sticking out the front.
Yeah, so one thing to note is on the loom that runs through this side, you have to pass it back through past the gearbox, and then it comes out in this direction through here, so you have to go through twice the bulkhead.
Okay guys, so I've just taken the springs off the pedals here, and I'm going to start undoing these bolts here. Those bolts there hold on the brake servo, and then Lewis on this side, he is
took these two bolts out of here, holding the heater on.
So the heater box is coming off, then the brake master cylinder, and then the bulkhead should, in theory, be clear, but I'm not sure what's going on lower down, but I think it will be clear. Alright guys, so we have disconnected the steering column here, but unfortunately due to the size of the hole in the bulkhead you can't take it out that way. That is welded on. So what you have to do, if you can see here, the hole is shaped so that this welded on bracket here will go through. However, you can't do it with the steering, with the ignition barrel on there. They use these safety screws to hold it in, so you torque it up and then the end snaps off, which is pretty annoying for undoing. So what we've done is just Dremel a cut through to use a screwdriver.
Nowhere near the
centre. As you can see, nowhere near the centre, and as you can see, it's just coming out that way. All you suffer doing that, yeah, all you suffer doing that is some little nicks in this, which is hidden under plastic trim. are, guys. Bulkhead off. Hopefully the GoPro picked that up, but it was a real battle with the final bolt. This one actually came off quite nicely, whereas the other side there was a complete horror. It forced us on every single thread, but here we go. Absolutely no body left on. Bulkhead's out, tub's off. Real progress made today. Everything disconnected up there, looms out and sitting way back here. Engine loom still attached to the engine. Most ancillaries are still attached to the engine. Okay guys, so we sort of split up a bit here. I'm working on getting this rear prop off. It is on the transfer case end. Typical Land Rover battle. I don't know if these are the original nuts that were on here. They're incredibly soft. You can only really access here with a spanner. Couldn't get a socket set on it. And the socket was biting it. Now, to actually break them off, we had to sort of tap a 14 on. But now that they're loose, sort of unscrewing them requires a 15. So I think they were probably originally 15s. And it got chewed up somehow at some point. And Lewis is over here, and he is just working on disconnecting hoses and lines to the engine. Most of the coolant lines are now off.
Yeah, undone some of the harness that is going around through to the thermostat. So anything that was running across the front, I think it was also going maybe to the throttle body. That's all come off and is loose down here now. So just a few more connections in here. Maybe oil temperature sensor or something before I can take the harness out. Okay guys, you can see down here the prop is on the floor, the rear one, and the 4 studs there. Alex is just finishing off 2 on the front, and then that prop will be off. We've taken all the harness out of the side of the engine and any coolant pipes. We've also taken the power steering lines that come around here off. I had to cut this one here because it had seized, so rather than turning, it was turning the whole pipe, and with a pipe that length there was nothing I can do, so we're going to replace that. So next, once Alex has got that off, we're going to start doing the engine mounts. So we've got the engine mounts at the front, and then at the back here gearbox mounts, and then we should be ready to lift it out.
Okay guys, so we've got the engine out, gearbox and transfer box with it. As you will have seen on the video, unfortunately my phone ran out of battery whilst midway through the time lapse, which is quite annoying, but here it is on the floor. As we've mentioned before, we did the lift with a tow rope because we don't have a chain. This is not recommended at all, but we have managed to get it out and get it out safely. So our plan for now is, because we don't have much space, what we want to do is separate the gearbox and transfer box, leave them on the floor here, and then the engine is going to go on an engine mount somewhere else. You can see the leg of the engine mount there in red. So what we've done is taken off the, I believe it was 6 bolts around the bell housing. So there's a couple on the top, 2 down this side, 2 down that side. We've also taken the starter motor out because the bracket was mounting to, I believe, the split point. It's difficult to show you anything because it is dark and the engine is just caked in oil. But the starter motor sat here, it is now there. And as you can see, absolutely covered in oil. So the next step will be to try and tap the bell housing away from the engine, and then all of these parts, we can take the bell housing off the gearbox, the transfer box off the gearbox, and all of these parts will be much more movable and manageable, and then the engine will be on an engine stand where we can work on it and replace gaskets and check its condition. So that's where we are. I'm sorry about the poor quality of filming. We are in winter here now. It is not quite 4 o'clock and pitch black.
Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to leave it there, but remember to come back and see our next video where we continue the strip down on the chassis, trying to get it ready for the galvanising.
And please do make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell.
And we also want to give a massive shout out to Club 86 for promoting our channel and giving us great support. We really appreciate it, and it's made a huge difference.
And our last shout out is to a good friend of mine, Damien. He lives in Bali and he sent us a gimbal. We really, really appreciate that. It's a great gift, and thank you very much, Damien. We're currently filming on it now.
See you next time, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.